The cosine rule. So we're looking at some trig ratios. Cosine rule to start. So hit pause, get the heading and lesson objective down, and when you're ready, hit play again, and we'll look at the cosine rule. Well, hopefully you remember what the cosine rule looks like. It's a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos of a. So we'll look at where it comes from initially. In this instance, if we look at this triangle, it's ABC triangle, and we use capital letters to represent the corners and small letters opposite the angles to represent the sides. So capital A, small a, capital B, small b, capital C, small c. Okay. Now I want to use Pythagoras to help me derive this formula, so I'm going to drop a perpendicular from C down to here, and that splits AB. AB is in total C, but it split it for me, and I'm going to call from A up to this junction here, I'm going to call that X, which means that what's left over is going to be C minus X, because the whole thing is C. So that's C minus X, that portion there. Right, so H is my perpendicular, and if I just get a highlighter, there we go. If I highlight this triangle, I'm going to look at this triangle first. So if I look at my yellow triangle, I can say that H squared is equal to b squared minus x squared by Pythagoras. H squared is equal to b squared minus x squared. If I look at the other triangle here, let's see if I can get a different color for my highlighter. I'll go blue. So this triangle this time, looking at that triangle, let's get back to the pen. I can say that h squared, again, is equal to a squared minus c minus x squared. So I've got h squared and h squareds here, so I can equate h squared. That means that a squared minus c minus x squared is equal to b squared minus x squared. Okay, so let's expand and simplify. I've got a squared minus c squared minus 2cx plus x squared, oops, square brackets now, is equal to b squared minus x squared. So expanding out, I've got a squared minus c squared plus 2cx minus x squared is equal to b squared minus x squared. So I've got minus x squared on both sides, which means, correct, I can cancel them. They cancel each other out. So that leaves me with, let's change the color back, a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2cx. So now I need to get rid of that x. So I'm going to look at my yellow triangle here, highlighted in yellow. If I look at this angle here, A, and I want to get rid of x. So I know the angle here, and I've got x and b. So if I say cos of A, let's just do it on the side there in a different color. Cos of A in my yellow triangle is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, x over b, which means that x is equal to b cos A. So I can sub for x in here. Let's go back to red. Sub for x, and that means that a squared, is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2c b cos A. And I just need to change those around. So that's going to be equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos A, which is the cosine rule. There we go. So if you want to hit pause and make some notes, and when you're ready, hit play again and we'll look at the application of the cosine rule. Okay, so as an example, we've got a triangle. It's got the sides of 4, 5 and 6 centimeters respectively. Find the size of the smallest angle. So, quick sketch. There's our triangle, 4, 5, 6, and the smallest angle is this one here. So, since I'm looking for that, I'm going to label this A, and then it doesn't really matter. B, C, which means that opposite them, this side is going to be A, small a, this side is going to be B, small b, and this is going to be C. Now, cosine rule is given by a squared equals b squared plus c squared, oops, these are squares, minus 2bc cos of A. So let's substitute what we know into this equation. A is 4, so 4 squared is equal to 5 squared plus 6 squared minus 2 times 5 times 6 cos of A. So we know everything but cos of A. So we can rewrite that in terms of cos of A. 2 times 5 times 6 is 30 times 2, so 60 cos A. I've taken it over to the left hand side, is equal to 5 squared plus 6 squared, 36, minus 4 squared. So 60 cos A is equal to 25 plus 20, 45. So cos A is equal to 45 over 60, and you can now use your calculator if you want. Cos A is equal to 0.75, and that's 75. So A is equal to cos to the minus 1 of 0.75, which is equal to, on your calculators, make sure you check that for me, but that's our smallest angle. So hit pause when you're ready to have a look at the next example. Well, make some notes on this. When you're ready, hit play again. Hopefully it's all coming back to you now. Okay, we've got an example here which you need to write down. Got a Coast Guard Station B, 8 kilometers away from A on a bearing of 060 degrees. And we've got a ship C, which is 4.8 kilometers away from A on a bearing of 0.18 degrees. Calculate the distance from C to B. Now, you've got to sketch it. Got to sketch it so we can visualize it. Also, we don't have enough things to draw in maths, so when we get a chance, we can sketch something. So, let's draw it in the first instance. So we start at A, and we'll put our north line at A. Now B is 8 kilometers away on a bearing of 060, so we can sketch that, 060, there's B. and that's 60 degrees. A is 0.18 degrees. It's on a bearing of 0.8 and it's 4.8 kilometers away. So let's draw from A to C. There we go. 4.8 kilometers and 18 degrees there. Now if we join B to C, we can now work on finding this distance here. It's opposite the angle A, so we can put small a here. Oops. Small a there. Opposite B is 4.8, so that's small b, and opposite C is small c. Now this angle here, the bearing to go to B is 60, and the bearing to go to C is 18. So the angle here is going to be 60, take away 18, 42 degrees. Right, so let's use our cosine rule. A squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos A. And now let's input what we know. We don't know what A is. I'm going to try and find that. B is 4.8. C is 8 plus 2 times B, 4.8 times C, which is 8, times the cos of 42 degrees. If you plug that in our calculator, you should be getting, sorry, that's a minus there. Just rub that out, do it properly. There we go. Change that to a minus. Minus 2bc cos 42, and you should get 29.02. So that's A squared. A is going to be the square root of that, which is 5.47. Good. So hit pause, make some notes, sketch the diagram. Always sketch the diagram. When you're ready, hit play again. We'll look at another example. Right then, let's look at this example. In the triangle to the right, PQ equals x centimeters. There we go, that's PQ. QR equals x plus 2, and RP equals 5. RP or PR equals 5. And PQR, the angle in between, is equal to 60 degrees. Find the value of x. Now I'm going to use cosine rule. So in order to use cosine rule, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat a little bit. And I'm going to relabel this triangle to help me just use a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos A. Now the angle in between is has got to be labeled as A, so I'm going to do that. So this angle here is A, which means this side is going to be A. I'm going to call this side here B, which means, sorry, this angle B, which means this side is going to be small b, and then I'm going to call this side C, which means this side is going to be small c. Now I can use my cosine rule. B squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos of the angle in between, which is cos of A. So A is equal to 5 squared, which is equal to B is equal to x squared, plus C is x plus 2, so x plus 2 squared, minus 2 times x plus 2 cos of 60. Now cos of 60 is a half, so let's simplify. 25 is equal to x squared plus 4x plus 4 minus, interesting, 2x squared plus 4x, and those are times a half. So let's carry on simplifying. We've got 25 is equal to, we've got 2x squared there, plus 4x plus 4, and then if we multiply that by the half and expand it out, so it'll be minus x squared and minus 2x. So if we put everything on the right hand side, 0 is equal to 2x squared minus x squared, x squared, 4x minus 2x plus 2x, and then 4 minus 25 is minus 21. So we've got a quadratic equation which we now need to solve. However, when I look at that, I realize I can't factorize that easily, because 21, the factors of 21 which I possibly could use are 7 and 3, and they can't give me 2 when I subtract them. So I'm stuck with the quadratic formula. So A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2, and C is equal to minus 21. So let's use the quadratic formula. X is equal to minus B plus or minus the square root of B squared, or the discriminant, minus 4AC all over 2A, which is equal to minus B, so minus 2, plus or minus the square root B squared, which is 4 minus 4 times A times C all over 2 times 1, which is just 2. So that's minus 2 plus or minus the square root of 4 plus 84, so 88, all over 2. And that's minus 2 plus or minus 2 root 22 over 2, which is equal to, it's right here, equal to, oops, minus 1 plus or minus square root of 22. Now our solution can't be negative, so it's got to be positive. So this implies that our solution has got to be minus 1 plus root 22. When I plug that into my calculator, I get minus 1 plus root 22 is equal to 3.69 centimeters. Job done. Hit pause, make your notes, and when you're ready, I've got a few questions that you can attempt. So questions for you. Yes, I think we've done this before, so down the left hand side of the page is fine till you get to number 3, and then carry on down the left hand side of the page and you get up to question 17. Okay, good. And the questions do become tougher and they become more abstract, so they work in terms of x. Okay. Good luck.